Free-range poultry farming is a very lucrative venture, and today I'm going to give you 6 tips of how you can be able to run a successful free-range poultry farm, and we'll head straight to the first one. The first tip is the land location whereby you want to set your poultry farm. First of all, the farm must be far away from residential area. Second, it must be far away from a road, an overcrowded road. Third, it should be far away from industries. Fourth, you must be adequate for the enough number of chicken that you want to put. For example, if you want to keep 150 to 200 chicken, free-range poultry farming, you need 1 acre of land, because the chicken need enough feed to forage around the farm and not be able to exhaust the plantation that is available on the farm. That is the first thing that you need to have. Enough land, and the location of the land should not be near schools or a populated area, since that will help in other things that I'll discuss later in the video. The second tip is you need to have proper housing on your farm. The first thing you have to take into consideration is that you have to construct your house from east to west, so that you can be able to prevent the sun rays from entering into your chicken coop and also prevent the strong winds that try to enter into your chicken coop. The second tip on the part of housing, you need to have proper ventilation. As you can see here, I have proper ventilation whereby the air comes through here and it exits here, because I've put a wire mesh over there. The third thing is that you need to have an elevated house. As you can see on my farm, this house, I have elevated it in a way whereby I have put the wire mesh and the ground is over here. So the chicken, when they do their pooping, the pooping goes directly to the ground. This is the second thing that you need to take into consideration, because if you do that, the chicken house won't be able to be flooded. The third thing, you need laying boxes. As you can see on my farm, what I have done, I've just taken that used plastic jerry can, then I've cut it into half whereby my chicken can lay their eggs. That is the third thing that you need. And also over there, I have another laying nest, as you can see it. So that is the thing that you have to take into consideration as the third thing. And also in housing, don't construct your house on the fence because you're saying, oh, this is the area that I can prevent my neighbor from seeing me. Don't construct your poultry house on the edge of the fence. Make sure it is east to west, as I have said. Don't do that I don't want my neighbor to see what I'm doing. Don't do that. Another tip is the feed supplement on your farm, because if you have set your farm in an area whereby you have a land, but the land is not too big that to be able to accommodate the number of chicken that you are trying to free range, make sure if you are trying to do that, make sure you have some feed supplement on your farm. One example of a feed supplement that is very organic on your farm is the use of these banana stalks. You can take the banana stalks, then you cut them into very small pieces. After you have cut them into very small pieces, you can mix it with the feed, like 30% of the banana stalk, then 70% of the commercial conventional feeds, and you give it to your chicken. That your chicken will grow up organically, and it also be free range because you don't have the enough area on your farm whereby you can store all those chicken, and that will also save you on the cost of production. And also another thing that you can use these cabbages. As on my farm, I use cabbages. I buy these cabbages from a local vendor. After I've bought the cabbages, I have this chopping machine whereby after I have gotten the cabbages, I chop them into very small pieces, then I mix it with the feeds. That is also another thing that you can use. The third thing that you can use is the potato leaves, sweet potato vines. You can also crush them because it has like 30% crude protein, but don't feed it a lot of it, because if you feed a lot of it, it will have this running stomach for the chicken. That is another feed supplement that you can give to your free range poultry farming. You can just supplement it. Here you'll have to use something known as activated charcoal. In case that you have gotten maybe the cabbages from the local vendor and the cabbages are not that well, maybe some have some stinky smell, you have to use the activated charcoal. I will post a video on how to make activated charcoal. I wanted really to post this video on how you can make activated charcoal, but it has been a while. I usually try to make it, but I usually forget. So soon I will make a video on how you can make activated charcoal. Activated charcoal does something known as adsorption, not absorption. Adsorption. It absorbs the toxins on top of it, not in it. So it's called adsorption. So that is another thing that I will also post on, so that it can also prevent your your chicken that maybe can eat some toxins around the farm, and it can really affect their stomach, and it can have problems on their chicken. I will post a video on that, so stay tuned. Another tip is vaccination. You have to vaccinate your bird. Yes, you are doing organic free range farming, but you have to vaccinate your bird. Don't let your bird get diseases, because there are some of these diseases. For example, a disease like Newcastle disease. A Newcastle disease is a viral disease, and it can be transmitted through air. So even if your farm is so far away and the wind blows, and if there's a lot of rain, it can really affect your chicken. Your chicken can end up getting the Newcastle disease, and if your chicken gets up the Newcastle disease, you can end up losing up to 80% of your flock. That is one thing that you have to do, vaccinating your chicken. And also fall typhoid. If you can take your time and vaccinate fall typhoid, do it. It is good for you, because fall typhoid also can kill a lot of your chicken, can cause very high mortalities on your farm. That is another thing that you have to take into consideration. And in case you want to prevent these diseases, I have really made a lot of videos of how you can make these organic supplements, of which you can, organic treatment for the diseases that can occur on your farm. I've really made lots of videos. So guys, if you haven't checked any of those videos, make sure you check all those videos. They will really help you big time. And also another thing, if you want to prevent such diseases, for example, for the diseases that are caused by bacteria, make sure you check out that video that I have posted on how you can make your own probiotics. If you are able to make your own probiotics, the probiotics are just good bacteria that can eat up those bad bacteria in the gut of the chicken. So make sure, if you want to really prevent those diseases on your farm, watch out that video, and also consider making your own probiotics on your farm, and this one will save you big time. That is just my advice. The next tip is biosecurity on your farm. Okay, after you have set your farm, you have built your house where elevated, you don't want your chicken house to get flooded, make sure you consider biosecurity measures on your farm, because anything can happen. And that comes to diseases. Because if you have built your farm, make sure you have fenced off your farm. If you have fenced off your farm very well, this means that other chicken from your neighboring area, or not from your neighbors, can't come into your area, and that can maybe bring diseases to your farm. So make sure, if you have a farm, make sure you have fenced it very well. And also for your chicken not to go outside to get diseases from outside and to come in. And also make sure at the gate you have the foot bath, those things that you just really need to know. You have a foot bath at the gate, and also when you're entering your poultry house, if the chicken are in the house, make sure you have a foot bath over there. But when the chicken come outside, make sure you remove the foot bath over there, because if the foot bath remains there, the chicken may think that that is water for it to drink. So if you have a chicken that is very thirsty and the water is there, and it feels like it can drink that water, it will drink that water that has that disinfectant. So that is the other thing that you have to take into consideration. Another tip is the market. Where will you sell your free range products? The better thing is that if you are doing free range poultry farming, even here in Kenya, if you are doing free range poultry farming, your products will have a high value. They will be considered high value. They will have a premium price on them. That is the only better part of doing organic farming. Because if you are doing organic farming, everything, all these, you are doing all this hard work. You are doing your free range poultry farming. It can be for you, for your healthy purpose. Maybe you want to get your own white meat for your own family. That can be better for you. And also, if you want to do it like commercially and you want to sell it, you have to really know your market gap, whereby you really need to know your target customers, so that you can be able to also get something out of this venture. Because you can't all be doing all this work for fun. I don't think so. You have to do it to get some money out of it, or also you have to do it to satisfy your own health. Some of these things nowadays, people really need the organic things so that they can be able to satisfy their own needs. And the organic things, you can advertise them through social media. Nowadays there are so many social media platforms, whereby like Facebook, Twitter, you can advertise your produce. And also you can advertise on YouTube. As for me, I advertise my farm on YouTube, whereby I have a farm and I usually do hatching of chicks every week. So if you are in need of day-old chicks, if you are around Kenya, call us on 0790 122 478. 0790 122 478. So guys, if you want to do these poultry farming ventures, you make sure you have to take all those tips that I've given you, and you'll be able to be a profitable venture. I'll keep on posting videos now and then of how you can be able to improve your poultry farming venture. Make sure if you haven't watched the video on how you can make your own probiotics, click up here.